top, you got a bottom, just put it in the middle.
Foam his friend. Don't you hate logic like that?
What's up, everybody? Dustin here from the Rugged Arts, and today I've got a special guest, I should say. I've got Neil.
How's it going?
And I've got David.
Hey, everybody.
And I'm sitting in what is Oconnell Archery here in Shelton, Washington. Super stoked to be doing this interview here. Thank you for giving me your time on Sunday. I know you guys aren't usually open on Sundays, right?
Nope.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about yourselves, and we'll start with Neil. You know, kind of like your archery history and experience, and then we'll shift and we'll go to David, and then we can kind of talk about like how this place came to be. I really like the layout here, by the way.
Cool. So I used to shoot when I was, 17, 18. Started off with the PSE, and that was the top of the line back then. And then got out of it for a while after I moved up to Washington because I didn't know where to hunt. I grew up in Oregon, so and Texas, but did a lot of bow hunting there and stuff, but never did anything up here. And then when I moved out to Shelton, I was like, you know what? I got hunting all around me. I might as well start hunting again. So I just picked up a bow again and decided that, you know what? This is what I want to do. So let's open up a shop. That's kind of where it went.
Right on.
So,
I mean, you couldn't have hit the head on the nail more accurate.
Nail
Nail on the head.
Yeah,
you know what I
nail on the
mean?
head, yeah.
Head on.
You couldn't have hit that X.
You couldn't have hit that X. There you go. Let's bring it back to archery. Okay, get out of the construction talk.
Right.
You couldn't have hit that X more accurately as far as the hunting in the Pacific Northwest is concerned. I was just thinking about this the other day, moving to a different state, and I'm just like, man, why would I do that? Because I can't hunt. You know, Washington, Oregon, Idaho are really the only three states where you get the North American animals. Sure, if you go to Texas, you get a lot of like, you can go down to different outfitters and get the exotics. But as far as like the U.S., North America as a whole, right?
Yep.
We are very lucky.
Yeah, because we got whitetail, muleys, blacktail, rosy elks, rocky elks.
Yep.
We got black bear, grizzlies, moose.
Yeah, you name it.
Yeah.
It's here.
Turkey, geese. I mean, ducks. I mean, you got everything.
Yeah, and then that's not even mentioning fishing. If you know you do any kind of fishing,
Steelhead sturgeon, all the salmon, trouts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sportsman's paradise up here as far as I'm concerned. So
yeah, as long as you got the money to play.
yeah,
It's getting expensive.
It's getting a little ridiculous.
It is.
Yeah.
So
All right. So that's a little bit about you, David. Other than the arrow guy, how did you come to be?
So I started shooting bows when I was real little. I used to shoot rabbits out of grandma's garden in Oregon. I'm originally from Oregon.
Sorry.
You know, it worked out for the time being. Graduated high school. I went to the military, did 12 years, got medically retired.
ate too many crayons.
Oh, all the crayons. I actually have one in my drawer
okay.
up there in case I have a bad day. It's sparkly. That way I get
Sure.
surprises.
Yeah.
And then got back into archery as a way to rehab my shoulder because I had a fully rebuilt shoulder. One thing led to another, and I started doing research and development for some folks in the industry, helping out some smaller companies, actually. And then, through the EZV bow site, Neil and I started talking. We were in the same area. We went to a 3D shoot at KBH Archers up in
Belfair
area.
Yep.
And he's like, I'm getting ready to open up shop and everything else. I was like, well, I know a guy who is pretty good at building arrows. And he's like, well, since you mentioned it.
I wasn't going to bring it up, but he brought it up for me. So I was like, yeah, because I know nothing about arrows. I'll be the first one to admit that. And bows I know very well. So he is my yin to my yang. So there we go.
Well, there you go. And arrow building can almost be its own separate thing. I mean,
and that's kind of what it is. I mean, he does the arrows. I do the tuning on the bows and stuff. And
I have enough.
He's learned a little bit, so he's gotten better at it. And sooner or later I'll feel more comfortable to actually take time off. But I don't know about that yet. So last time I took time off, I came back and I was like screwed up. But David wasn't here.
I wasn't here. So I'm take care of my son.
Yep. So, but yeah, it was it's been really good. It's been a great go. My wife, you know, my wife's the one that owns the shop. So, me and David are just using this as a way to work through our disabilities. So,
hey man, do what you got to do, right?
Exactly.
It is great therapy. Little bit about me. I've over the last 10 years kind of come to figure out that I have like ADHD. Mm-hmm. Not like I have ADHD. And
kind of have it, but not
yeah. Like I kind of don't want to admit it, but no. So anyways, I find activities like archery where you have to focus on what you're doing, like calming.
Yep.
And I can really just kind of zone out everything else and zone in on what I'm doing.
Allows a hyperfixation
Yeah,
to have
exactly.
a channel
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
in a positive manner.
Yep.
Right. Mm-hmm. Pool was that for a long time. But, you know, we got married, had kids, and pool tables are generally only located in bars.
Yep.
So I try to stay out of bars now. Different conversation.
Me too.
But, you know, I can do archery in my backyard, you know.
Yeah.
A pool table takes up a whole room.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and it's a family thing, you know. Like my wife shoots, my son shoots. You know, we will get into this later, but he did get his first kill this weekend or this last week.
that is awesome.
Tuesday.
So yeah.
Yeah. I didn't
Tuesday on my dad.
I didn't know you had adopted Nick.
No, I know. Right? Well, he does.
He's
He is.
now the bearded dragon.
Well,
The bearded dragon.
He's now the bearded dragon.
If you ask him, he will say that he is the son that I've always wanted.
He did say that when we were at camp.
With both my kids there.
That's so funny. He would say something like that.
That was great.
Oh, that's hilarious.
He is family though. He
is good.
He is family here. So.
So you did mention before we started recording everything that you're not originally from like Shelton.
Nope.
So you kind of transplanted or relocated here.
Yep.
So how did all this come to be then?
Well, you know, we were on our way home from another bow shop, me and my dad, and I was in school for welding because I wanted to try to find something to take time off my hands and get me active again. And my dad was asking me if I liked welding. I didn't like welding too much. I mean, as not to make money at or not to, you know, spend my time at. But you know, we were on our way home from an archery shop, and he just asked me. He says, "So why don't you open up a restaurant? You can cook really well." And I said, "I don't want to open up a restaurant. I like to cook, and I don't want to do that all of my life." And he says, "Well, let's think about what you can do." And I said, "Okay." And so I dropped him off at home and told him. I said, he said, "What are you gonna do?" And I said, "I'm gonna go home and shoot my bow because I just got it worked on. So I was gonna come home and sight it in and do all that." And was out in the backyard shooting, and Dad calls me and says, "Hey, I got what you can do for a living." And I said, "What's that?" And he says, "Why don't we open up an archery shop?" And I said, "You know what? That's a really good idea." Because Peninsula just closed down, and I was like, sounds like perfect timing. So we went around looking for a shop, and everything was really expensive. And I was like, you know what? Let's think about this a little harder. And on the way home, I said I had to let my dogs out before I took them home. So I drove by the house and saw my vacant 2-car garage. Well, it wasn't vacant. I had my 53 Bel Air in here, but I was like, why don't we just do it here? That way I don't have to pay rent or anything like that. I could pay rent to myself, and then go from there. Mm-hmm. And so we started, and now this is what we have.
And how many years ago was that? Like, I mean, this
Oh,
place
no, that was
looks
just
like
last year.
Oh, that was so. This is real new.
Yeah, we just opened July of last year, July 20th. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Of last year.
All right, so it hasn't even been a year yet.
No.
Wow, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting.
It has been a trip, let me tell you.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, taking on something big like this, because, I mean, a business, no matter how small, it is a big deal.
Yeah.
Especially when it's like, that's your income. You know, I'm battling with that, like, So I work at Boeing. That's my day job. However, the podcasting and the YouTube thing is like my passion.
Yeah.
And I love doing it. I just don't have the time to devote to it, and it doesn't pay. So this is purely just for funsies.
Yeah.
But idea is hopefully I can invest in it, and it invests in me. So I can't step away from Boeing because of that whole like active
still need a
faith
paycheck,
leaping
you know?
off. Yeah, I need a paycheck.
Yeah.
I need to bring something home.
Using this for therapy and helping me get back my life and stuff like that. I don't take paychecks. I don't do any of that. This is all strictly for my wife. So I don't have, it's for me to do something instead of sitting in front of the TV and getting fatter.
Right.
Because that's all I was doing. I was so depressed. I was so everything else. And, archery turned it for me. It was like I got back into archery and, I said, I don't want to be disabled anymore. I don't want to be fat anymore. And I'm working on it. And, we're getting there slowly but surely. I've actually got friends that when we go hunting, they take their time with me knowing that I can't walk as fast as everybody else or have the sprint power that everybody else does, but they wait for me and it's nice. So, and then if I can't do something, I just say, hey, you guys go off. I'll just sit right here. So, and then
I always need a good sitter.
Yeah. So
we at least to piggyback off what you're saying is we know our strengths and we also know our weaknesses and we talk about them openly.
Yep.
And we make sure that if there's a problem and we have that open communication, it's not really that much of a problem and we can work out how to take care of everything.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
No, that's cool. It's really awesome. I like it. I mean, it's awesome. So, okay, we're here at your shop. Tell me what different lines do you carry? I mean, I see a levitate right there.
Yeah,
that's
mine.
awesome.
That's my.
He's like, that's mine.
That's my baby.
Don't even look at it. We will. Yeah, I'll touch it later. And
I'm gonna touch you later.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's my baby right there.
I just saw the Darton that you were
Maverick
kind enough to
XT.
show me, the
Yep.
Maverick. Yep, that's nice. I do like the lines on it. I'm not a big fan of your grip tape that you got on there, but to each his own.
Yeah,
right.
everybody
That's what I like about archery is
There's no one answer.
no.
And when it comes to arrow building or bows or anything, like, well, what bow do you shoot? Well, this is what I use and this is why. But it may not be the same thing for you. So
Right.
let's pull back a couple of different bows. Actually, I just got in on that into the Darton Maverick because I can pull that a full 70 with my shoulder. I can't do that with any other bow manufacturer.
He was so happy when he figured that out. He was like, "Oh man!" And I had to throw it in his face that he still is 20 feet per second.
Is that
slower.
just because of the ATA on it? Or?
No, it's my shoulder. It's just the way that
the
draw cycle
cycle
goes
is.
through, and because I have a very
So that could be part of the cam
unorthodox, draw because of the way I have to because of my shoulder with the rebuild.
Sure.
So a lot of them it just really hurts at 70 pounds. So I'm either at 67 or 68, so I don't get that full cam efficiency.
Sure.
And with these ones, I can.
Dartons have a really smooth draw cycle. Every Darton seems to have that.
Yeah.
Their only downfall to me is how heavy they are. They're a heavier bow. The Darton Spectra E is quiet, slow, or quiet, fast,
but it's
fast, and heavy. It's very heavy. It's a heavy bow. It's 5 pounds. Bear.
What?
Yeah.
That is a
but
heavy bow.
that
That is a
Spectra
heavy
E,
bow.
But
That sounds like a target bow
shoots
weight.
just like the new Matthews.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same speeds and everything.
It sounds like an air gun, like a little air pistol, like a BB gun going off. It's so quiet.
So Darton Matthews,
Yep.
Okay.
Darton, Matthews,
Prime,
Elite, Bear, PSE, Bowtech, and
the APA.
APA.
So basically everything except Hoyt.
everything
We're
except
also
Hoyt.
an expedition dealer.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Expedition.
All right.
Yeah.
And that's whatever. We don't have
Yeah,
to get into that.
I do everything but Hoyt basically.
Yep.
We even do a little bit of trad archery stuff.
Yep.
But you could work on a Hoyt. Say I had one in the car.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I can work on a Hoyt, but I can't do anything for
warranty orders
warranty or
or any of that
issues.
stuff.
I can't
Right.
order anything from them.
Got it.
I can put strings on them and do all that stuff, but I can't do anything warranty side of Hoyt, which
Sure.
we all make the joke in the shop that we would rather kill things than Hoyt things anyway. So.
Which is
Bring
funny
on
you say that
the
because my target bow is a Matthews.
Uh-huh.
I shoot a Halon X Comp
Yep.
or
That's a
Comp
good
X,
bow.
however you want to say it.
Yeah.
It is a wonderful bow. I love shooting it. I mean, you saw the scores.
Yeah, it was great.
I was 1 point away from 600,
Yeah.
and my 8th arrow from the end. I'm 8 arrows away from finishing and shooting my first like clean event ever, and I just allowed my focus to waver for half a millisecond, and I shot a 4. And I was like, man, that sucks so bad. And I shot a 5.99 for the weekend with 76 X's and 15 inside outs.
Well, my favorite thing about failure, you know what it's an acronym for, right?
No, go ahead.
Fail.
Yeah.
First attempt in learning.
Okay, good. I like it. First attempt in learning.
So as long as you learn something from it, it's not really a failure, it's just a learning experience.
Right, yeah, exactly. And you know what? I should have, if I had that little card of knowledge, that little acronym, I would have pulled that and given it to Nick the other day and been like, you didn't fail, man. You got an animal.
Yeah.
You learned. Hopefully you learned from it. And
Well,
it doesn't happen
that's
again.
The thing about this sport is, again, no one's going to know everything. And
Right.
As soon as you think you're the smartest man in the room, you're going to screw up.
Right,
Well,
and,
it's
and
just
then you look like the dumbest man in the room.
Well, it's just like the tough. You always think you're the toughest person out there until somebody comes along tougher.
Yeah.
You know, it's the truth.
And-
You're nobody out there. I mean, just like I can't remember. Boy, what's his name? The guy that beat Levi. The little kid, the 15.
Oh, Bodie?
Turner.
yeah,
Bodie.
Bodie when he beat
Bodie.
Levi. You know that he
Beat Levi?
He beat Levi. And,
Levi Morgan?
Yeah.
Where?
I was watching him shoot against Levi. Levi posted it on Facebook.
Yeah, it wasn't down. It was at Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Levi didn't make the final shoot down in Vegas.
But he shot against he shot
Bodie
against
shot
him.
against it.
Yeah.
he shot against...
Because he talks about it right here on Instagram.
I don't remember Levi Morgan at the final stage of Vegas, but he was in the same frame as Jesse Broadwater and Dan
he was talking,
McCarthy, and
he was talking that he got him and Bodie, I believe it was, that they came down to the last.
I don't,
They kept.
We'll
they
look it
kept
up
tying
after.
and tying, and then finally, Levi made a little mistake and Bodie beat him. That at least that's what I saw on Facebook.
Are we thinking Lancaster and it was him and Capper? Because that was something like that.
Because Levi was talking about
Okay,
it.
well,
on
we'll look it up
Instagram.
after because that's
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
really believe-
Bodie's a shooter, man.
Oh God! Well,
And-
and it just goes to show you. I mean, anybody can have a bad day. It doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah. Now I will say, a bad day at that level is the difference between an inside out and just an X.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's but
You
that's
know,
a bad day.
Their bad day is me. You know, is my really good day. So, 'cause,
Yeah.
I mean, to shoot what they can shoot is totally different. I don't care who they are
Yeah,
competing
and they
at
put
that level.
if
So,
you talk to Bodie in his, I don't even know if I could call it a workout regimen. He just likes to shoot, and he shoots every day,
Yeah.
and he'll shoot hundreds of arrows a day.
Yeah.
And you're just I don't have the time. You know, I'm a working father of 3 with a farm. I don't have time to shoot hundreds of arrows a day.
God, yeah.
I gotta squeak in a 12 end after work. You know what I mean? But I am getting better. I'm trying to get up there and be more competitive at a higher level.
Yeah. No, I do. I shoot at least 10 to 12, maybe more a day. That's how we got my son ready, so he could actually. He started off at 36 pounds 2 months before the hunt, and now he's up to 44 pounds because we made him shoot 20 plus arrows a day.
Yep.
Yeah, my 12-year-old daughter wants to hunt this year, and I said, well, you got to shoot 40 pounds. So we're working on it,
Yeah.
and I got to get her to shoot more at the house.
Well, he turned 11 of the day we left for the hunt.
Oh, nice.
He turned 11, and he got his first kill the same day as my dad's birthday. So
Wow,
he'll
that
always
is
have
cool.
something to remember my dad by.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
So-
I'll bet that was an awesome dad moment.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I was a teary-eyed guy. I was teary-eyed, bawling, and just to watch my son
Sure.
do something and see how excited he was doing it.
He was so proud to camp that
Yep.
night. Oh, he was so proud.
Even my
He got
oldest,
blooded.
yeah, even my oldest, he was so happy when he killed his 4-horn. It was the brother of Nick's goat.
Yep.
You know?
Oh yeah.
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 Nick killed his, and then the goat was still hanging out with Nick's goat after it died, and my son ended up taking that one.
Yeah.
And then later on, I got to and I filmed it. But I got to watch my son take his first pig.
Right.
My oldest. It was
That's cool.
great. So
It was a really fun trip.
yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Driving
So
our
I think we're
ass.
transitioning here.
Okay, well. I mean, we
Which
can
is
go back to the
good.
shop real
No, I
quick
like
if you
it. I like the transition, and I like where we're going with this. The 4-horn. So people, we'll talk about like the outfitter and where you went.
Okay.
For people who are curious and want to know what a 4-horn is, it's also known as a Jacob's sheep,
Yeah.
Yep.
and they are
Devil goat.
Devil goat.
yeah, and they're pretty cool. And
So
so
they're beautiful.
They have
creatures.
the antlers that grow up,
They got
and then they have
2
antlers that come down around their face.
right,
And it truly does look like a devil goat. I mean,
they're cool,
they are cool.
super gnarly.
Yeah.
I want one.
Yeah.
I want to go
wanted
harvest
one.
one just
I
because I'm
did.
curious what it
I
tastes
want
like.
the pelt.
I wanted
But
one
that,
so
that
bad.
wool on them is so nice.
Yeah, we had to toss Nick's.
Oh no.
So I looked at. I've dabbled in some taxidermy with my dad. He's more experienced in it, but it's not his job, or he doesn't even really do it as a hobby anymore. But anyways, all that to say that I looked at his hide, and it had been cut in two, and there was lots of cuts in the actual skin of the hide.
When he was
And then
skinning
the
it.
hair was so matted and dirty. I couldn't do them for him because I don't have the time.
Yeah.
And I know how long it would take to do it and make it look good. I was like, bro, if you don't have the time to invest in this, and you know, a taxidermist probably wouldn't do it because it would take so much time.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
talked about like how you would do it and everything, and he just was like, man, I guess I'm gonna toss it then. So
Yeah.
I said, hey, you got a cool skull, you got a ton of
The
meat,
colors are beautiful.
great
on those
experience. Yeah, and I was like, look, if you want, we could cut some of the stuff out from under the matted stuff. You want to keep it and like put it in a bag or something because it is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But having alpacas, I know that if we had tried to even shear that off of there, I couldn't send it to anybody to have it clean. They wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
It
So
was pretty much dreaded up everywhere.
yeah, it was, and it's just what it is,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But man, so tell me about the hunt, the outfitter.
It is
Oh,
JP Guide Services.
Okay.
Out of Arbuckle, California.
Arbuckle, that sounds made up.
Right? It does. It really
It
does.
Isn't that Isn't that a comic guy? Arbuckle? Isn't that a comic strip?
Like in a newspaper.
Back in the old days, I think there was an Arbuckle that was
I'm not old enough to go there. I don't know.
let's see. God, I'm that old. Or I remember my dad.
Maybe
I think it was with Betty and all them. I think there was an Arbuckle. Anyway,
that was probably the last name of.
somebody.
One of the
It sounds
characters.
familiar.
It does.
Now that you're
It
mentioning
really
it.
does. So I can almost picture him. He's like got a blue jacket on.
Archie?
Archie?
Back in the Archie, it was an Arbuckle in the Archie comics, I believe. I don't know. I just
Another thing to
comes
look. I'm gonna
yeah.
have to write these down.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Bouncing
look it
ball
up.
in the dryer right
Yeah,
now.
or play it back
So-
and go
Yeah.
to it.
So normally I go to this place in Northern Oregon for my
Don't
pig hunts.
mention the names,
And-
'cause we might go back.
Yeah. And basically they weren't didn't have availability.
They weren't available this year.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
then I got a hold
Okay.
of Bighorn Canyon Ranch, but sadly their land lease was sold out from underneath them. And they're going to be moving to Arizona here pretty soon.
So we might be going to do that one.
Yeah, there's some awesome family-owned business there at Bighorn Canyon who's moving to Arizona. I think they're going to be in the Prescott area.
We're gonna fly in for those. Though.
Yeah, definitely flying for that one.
Did you drive to this
Yeah,
one?
we
Yeah, we
drove.
did. We drove. So then I found JP
It wasn't
Guide
that bad. It was
Services.
only 14 hours.
was-
Well, actually 12 hours with me doing the pace.
Well, yeah. And then my pee breaks
Yeah.
because I have a bladder.
Hey,
of
you know,
3-year-old.
I feel you. I had to pee when I got here.
Right? Yeah.
I only was 30 minutes away.
And then talked with JP, got us a really good deal.
Yeah.
So we were camping out, so it dropped the price for us. They have an entire like estate with a pool and packages.
Levi Morgan actually goes there and shoots.
Yeah.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. I mean, this
cool.
place is insane. They have like 80,000 acres total or something, like something stupid.
We were in a 10,000 acre high fenced area that he had
5 mile
set aside.
perimeter.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just for these hogs.
Yeah. Well, hogs,
Goats, yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
So.
it was insane just how beautiful this place was. He calls it Jurassic Park, and you open it up, and there's beautiful oak trees, and you got this scrub oaks, and these peaks and valleys, and fingers and draws and ravines, and
It's an awesome place. It really is. It was really awesome.
there's so many different
It sounds
levels
like
of terrain.
Have you guys been out like east side hunting,
Yeah.
Washington?
Yeah.
Sounds
It's
sounds like
kinda like that.
Umptanum.
Well, it's
northern, so it's northern California.
It's right outside of San Francisco, and
So you got basically like it looks like Jurassic World.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, like the Jurassic World where you have the nice valleys and
Yeah.
that's basically what it looked like. It looked like a place that you would say there's Tyrannosaurus Rex, from the movie or whatever. It kind of looked like
it's
that.
beautiful.
It was
Cool.
really cool.
Yeah. And so then we got down there
Early.
really nice early. We set up camp, got everybody set, and then had a couple guys pushed out to go check and scout, and then I went out with JP.
And then Nick, David, and Brian got their kills first thing in the morning.
Yep. I got
First
mine,
thing in the day.
I got mine that night.
Yeah, that first day.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, the first night. So, unfortunately, Nick said, "Well, I'm done." So he stayed at camp the rest of the time.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
I think he was more bummed that he didn't get to look more
right.
instead of he's just like, "Oh, there it is," and shot.
He was
So,
super excited.
Yeah.
Saw
I don't
the
blame him. I don't
animal.
think I would have passed up what he shot.
Oh,
You-
dude, it
you-
was
So-
yeah.
Well, you know that saying. I want
Don't-
to say Steven Ranella said it.
Yeah,
don't pass
don't-
on the first day what you kill on the last.
Yeah.
And
So-
that's me because I'm a meat eater.
Me too.
I don't go searching for antlers in the woods. I just, if that doe looks
I'm
tasty.
trigger happy.
Well, see, I had somebody comment on my Facebook page that because I said I was going to mount my ram that I got, and they commented that I was just out there for the trophy and stuff like that, and I'm like, really? Because as far as I remember, I just dropped all my meat off at the butcher to get butchered up. I'm getting Italian sausage and breakfast sausage and steaks out of my ram. But, who am I to say that I'm not going to eat my ram? You know better than I do, don't you? So,
Yeah, I've had this conversation with David about like the idea of trophy hunting and what it is, and
Not this, David.
No,
not you. No. I'm sorry. My co-host that's not here, David Todd.
So, like if I went to Africa, and shot something there, that's trophy hunting to me. But on the other part of it, at least all the meat's going to a tribe there to help feed them.
Mm-hmm.
I still, if I can afford it, which if I can afford to go there, I might as well afford to get the skull mounted and everything too.
Mm-hmm.
That's trophy hunting. And I don't go out there just looking for the best thing in the world to shoot. I go out there and think of meat.
Yeah. So
So-
to that end though, let's. I'm just gonna kind of for a second because when I hear the word trophy, it's like a trigger for me.
Yeah.
A trophy is what you make it.
Right.
Right?
It
Yeah.
is.
So for you, in this instance, the trophy is the meat.
Yeah.
Right? And then like the extra was the skull.
Oh yeah.
And you want to forever remember that hunt, and what an awesome way to do that than to mount it. Now, and unfortunately, that's what it's called. It's mounting, and there's a process.
Well, see, there's
and
more of a story to that ram that I'll get into when the time's right.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot to that ram story that I'm not saying yet. So
Okay. Yeah.
It has a lot of meaning to me.
Right. Well, and that's kind of my point, though, is that a trophy can be anything, but the main premise behind the word trophy, obviously, is that it's an award given to you for something you did, right?
Exactly.
And that's something in order
It's
to
an
attain that.
This is definitely
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
participation trophy.
Yeah, it's
It's not.
it's
I
not
mean,
a participation trophy at
no.
all.
You either get a trophy or you are
you
eating
don't.
tagged soup.
Yeah.
I mean, and then that's your
And
trophy.
that thermal paper ain't too tasty.
Yeah.
let me tell you.
No.
Anything that makes you feel better to me is a trophy.
Right. So that could be a paycheck at the end of the week if you
Yep.
feel like you put forth extra effort that paycheck.
It shows the accomplishment of a goal that you set out
Yeah.
to do.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, it is what it is.
They could
Like-
be going through McDonald's drive-thru and figuring out that they put another double McDouble in. You know?
Did they really, or are you just messing
I've
with
had that happen once or twice.
Uh,
They've actually gave me an extra McDouble. I'm like, wow, thanks. The fat guy needs more. Good.
me? No, that did happen to me. Where was I? I was picking up pizzas at. We were picking up pizzas, me and my wife, and they had put somebody else's hot wing order
Oh my god.
In
I
our-
would love
Oh,
that.
dude.
in with our pizzas, and I was.
yeah.
It
It's
happened
like
to be
a pot of
my.
gold at the end of the rainbow, man.
Happened to be my birthday, so I was like,
There you go.
score!
My oldest,
That
he
birthday
actually,
juju.
my oldest, he actually went in and ordered a McDouble or something, and he actually got it made with sausage patties instead.
Wow.
And he didn't know it until he took the bite out of it, and he's like, "Man, Dad, you want to talk about a really good sandwich?" I was like, "Yeah, I'd have to try that out." So, but
That's funny. So okay, so
And then, so they actually got their kills the first day,
right.
and then we came back to camp, sat around with headlights on and watched them skin them and hang them, and then we had hot dogs and chips for
Hot dogs
dinner.
and chips, and then we got since it was Aiden's
Birthday, we did s'mores and sang happy birthday to my youngest for his birthday, and then went to bed early because we were getting up early and went out on our next day hunt.
Sweet.
Yeah,
And then everybody tagged an animal on the second day.
yeah.
Um,
Me and Aiden got his first kill about 10 minutes later. I got my first kill. Aiden's was actually really cool because he actually first shot,
this kid's been putting
first
in
kill,
work for months.
and he shot this pig, and I swear to you, he hit this pig so hard in the back quarter that he stuck both arrows in he stuck the arrow in both legs, and that pig could not move.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah.
It just sat in that one spot and screamed and screamed and screamed until he could put another arrow in this thing.
Crazy.
And he was like jumping up and down inside the blind. I got him! And actually, JP was with us, and he made sure that Aiden was going to make the right choice and the right kill. And he actually came down and sat with us and told Aiden, "That's the pig. Shoot him." And Aiden shot him. Aiden actually drew on a bunch of pigs, and he actually had to let down. He was patient, and this one presented it, and he took the shot, and he was jumping up and down in the blind, and we're like, knock another arrow. He's swinging the arrow. It's going 5 feet one side, 5 feet the other side. I had to grab it and knock it for him, and then he punched it and double lunged it, and then he put another one in it just to put it out. But,
Sure.
yeah, and then as we were loading up his hog, I was like, can I get that one? So I shot one, and we got a really cool dad and son moment. We put both of our pigs together and took a nice picture of them together, and then I spread some of my dad's ashes right with the pig kill.
That's cool.
So it was actually a really cool thing. And then I think we were the only ones to kill in the morning, though.
Yeah. I got mine in the
Yeah.
afternoon.
Yeah. And
I was
then-
being pretty picky.
And then, since we're into the goat story, I guess I'll go ahead and tell that one. I wanted to shoot a 4-horn. That's what I was going for. So we roll up. We're on our way out, and the goats were right there at the high fence. So we backed down, and I had to sneak up about 100 yards on them. And I got within 30, and I was looking, and this goat was standing broadside, looking back at me like this.
I see it. There ain't nothing
I
sneaky
see it.
going
Or
on.
The ram,
Yeah.
sorry.
Mhm.
The ram was looked back at me like this, and I'm like, okay. So I scooted up a little bit more. I ranged this tree in front of me, and it was actually I was 32 yards away from him, and the other one was 12 yards away. So I snuck up to the other bush because then I'd only be 20. Which I should have probably taken a shot at 30 because I think I'd have done more damage with the levitate that way, because it blew through that thing so easy. But I got up to 20, and I looked over there, and he was still looking at me broadside. So I stood up, and as soon as I stood up, he turned frontal at me. So I stuck him right in the chest, and Went right through the chest, right through one of the lungs, hit part of the heart.
The
and
top
then,
part of the artery.
Yeah, and then it stuck into his back hip, my arrow. And he wobbled 5 feet one way, 5 feet the other way, and then the herd came around him. And David will attest to this because this is a no lie story.
So I'm actually up in the same area just by chance. There's this beautiful big sow because I was going after sows because that's what I wanted. Because sow meat's a little sweeter than boar meat. And so I'm getting ready, and all of a sudden I'm like, wait, there's something wrong with my rest. So I set my bow down and I start working on my rest, and I look up and I see Neil about 200-300 yards away from me on this ridge line.
Got it.
And so I see him, so I put my bow down, and so I start recording from across the ridge line. And I got Neil sneaking up, and it was really cool. And he's doing his thing. He has no idea I'm there watching. And this arrow is sticking out of this ram's throat, right?
Chest cavity.
And I look over, and here comes this four-horn, the demon goat, just starts grabbing the fletchings and just starts ripping on it. It's like, what
It's
the?
no lie. Like he was trying to, I'll help you, buddy.
I'm coming by. Wow.
And just starts yanking on it. You see the
It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Crazy.
And so he actually clears out, and then I put another one, double lunged him.
Mm-hmm.
He went over and laid down. He was gonna die, but I'm a humane guy, and I don't like that, so I shot another one just to put him out quicker. I wanted a 4-horn, so, but to me, this was my dad telling me to shoot this one, because it ended up being, as JP said, the nicest ram on that land at that time.
Dude, that curl was beautiful.
He said it was everybody at camp was jealous. Everybody will tell you that was the best kill that we had at the camp. It was, to me, it was my dad telling me, you need to shoot this one. So that's what I did.
Cool.
And then, so when I get the head back, I'm gonna get a placard made for it, and it's gonna say in memory of Michael O'Connell. And the cool thing about it is, I actually got that kill on my dad's birthday.
Yeah, that's
So
awesome,
it'll
man.
be 3/8/22 instead of my dad's birthday. It'll be 3/8/22 on the day I took that ram. So it's got a lot of memory for me.
Cool.
In that aspect. So, yeah, it was a great time. It was great. I don't know.
Camaraderie.
There we go. I'm not.
Oh, I got to have chili for the first time.
Yeah.
You haven't had chili before?
I'm deathly allergic to beans, and
Okay.
so 90% of people who make chili put beans in it.
Yeah.
I'm from Texas. I was raised in Texas, and if you put beans in chili in Texas, they'll kill you.
Okay.
Yeah, that is not chili.
And then I had
You
my
put
first
beans in.
Frito pie, which
Yeah.
I never heard of before. Didn't know it was a thing.
Frito pie?
See, I'm not the only one. Thank you.
I don't
So
know what a
Frito
Frito-
pie
Take-
is something from Texas where you take Fritos and
Put them at
put
the bottom of
chili
your
over it,
bowl,
and then you
chili.
eat it that way.
God, that sounds really good.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude, it
no,
was
it's
delicious.
killer.
I had like 3 bowls of chili that night. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to buy some chili. And now I'm Pacific Northwest
Beans.
through and through, born and raised. I lived in Texas for all of like 7 months during my Air Force stint for training and whatnot.
Tell me you at least a Whataburger.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know about some Whataburger. Yeah, I know about some Whataburger. Yeah.
Yeah, that's everybody's like In and Out. I'm like,
Nah,
yeah, screw
no,
In and Out.
no,
In and Out ain't
Whataburger,
got
man.
nothing on Whataburger.
Whataburger's. I'm surprised we don't have one up here.
It won't pass the Mason-Dixon line, man.
I'm just
It
like,
won't.
come on, man. There's
know.
shakes,
Oh God, yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's like one of the things I miss about Texas.
Yeah.
But I don't even see now. You made me lose my
Yeah.
train of thought.
Yeah.
Oh,
Whataburger.
chili. Yeah,
Chili,
I'm
yeah.
a Nally's chili dude. Just
So now
straight
they
out
makes
of
it
the
without
can.
beans, though.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really good to put on
to
chili
look at
dogs
it.
that way too.
Yeah, I like
oh yeah,
their-
we put some of my dough that I got this year in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
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 Put some of the stew meat in there.
And I got her with the new Prime Inline 5.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, that's a popular bow.
You know, I really, really enjoy the inline series. They're really comfortable, really nice, easy draws. But as soon as I found out I could draw that Maverick back at 70 pounds,
Yeah.
and I'm shooting. So with the inline, I was shooting 253 with my arrow setup, and with the Darton, I was shooting 271. I'm going with the 271.
Sure.
Yeah, well, you're still slow, so.
Well, Mr. I can buy it.
I mean, you could drop like 60 grains on your arrow weight. That'll speed you up.
No,
Well, I
I'd rather
shoot-
have.
I was just saying.
I snort
shoot.
fairy dust.
Yeah.
Okay.
Troy is. I love what Troy puts out, and the knowledge behind it. Like he always says, facts are stubborn things, and if we follow physics and momentum, it's momentum that kills, not kinetic energy. Kinetic energy only measures potential levels of energy, not practical momentum, and it's the momentum that kills in archery. And so if I can get an arrow right around the 500 grain mark, and that's what I found works best for me up here in the Pacific Northwest.
Sure.
Because we do have those longer shots. I can't use, I mean, I have used a 555 grain arrow and done some great things with it, but a little bit more speed.
I mean, what's your reach then? You'd have to shoot a higher poundage just to have a reach if you wanted
Well, I
to
can
shoot
shoot out.
distance.
I can always shoot out to 100 yards just because I take my time and I learn the system. And after 12 years in the infantry, getting intimate with my weapon system is something that is just ingrained in me.
Sure.
And I can shoot out as far as I want, but because of all the trees and everything that we have, that parabolic arc for that arrow travel is a lot friendlier with a little bit higher speed if I can find that happy middle ground if possible.
Right.
And I think I've found that with this bow and my arrow setup. Well, Neil and I have the exact same arrow setup. It's just that he uses, well, I'm actually going to be using the same fletchings here soon. I wanted to have a nice full sour watermelon build where I have a nice reflective wrap with the Q2I Fusion Xeon vanes just because they're nice, they're bright, and they look cool.
That's why I like orange. Orange is like super bright. As soon as
I
I
like
started doing
pink
like orange and
because-
pink, I like never
Yeah.
lose arrows.
Actually, I'm going to call it
I, uh,
17 pedal right
I have, I shoot the levitate, so at 28.5 inches of draw with a 509 grain arrow, I'm at 296 feet per second with my levitate.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to bring my arrows over here and have you wrap them and fletch them.
Yeah, I can do that.
The wrap honestly kind of intimidates me because I don't want to screw up how it lays. So like the whole ADHD thing, like I get kind of OCD about certain things, and I just want to be able to go, you know what, just wrap it for me. Because otherwise I'm gonna screw it up and like try and like make the
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and have the overlay be aligned with the spine and in line with the cock vein, and like, no thanks.
Yep, that's why I leave it to him.
Yep.
So
I do my best to do that all the time. So my favorite, the like arrow building is just, I kind of zone out and I kind of forget other things that are going on around me. And
don't say it. Just leave it alone.
my wiretap's going off.
You got Siri in the background?
Yep, no,
It's not.
it's
It's the Samsung. I dropped my phone and it's been weird ever since, and it likes to listen to me.
So we're being recorded.
Probably. I mean,
What
we
up?
already are, but you know, another
Yeah,
another one.
yeah.
would help.
I'm not turning this into the FBI, but once it's on YouTube,
FTJ.
you know, they got
Yeah, there we go.
access.
Yeah,
So
damn right.
that's awesome.
But yeah, so when people come in, you know, we find out first and foremost what the budget is, because we want to make sure that we can get anybody into this. And we have helped out quite a few people on the pricing, and you know, we've done a couple of things that a lot of bigger shops probably wouldn't do.
I think that kind of has to go with like they couldn't
Yeah.
necessarily because they're a bigger shop.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? When
They have-
when you get like a more, we'll call it like a mom and pop shop, like a small shop, they can
We have more
accommodate.
liberties with
Yeah.
how we do the pricing on
Exactly.
certain things.
Sure.
And then, yeah, we do our best to keep it as budget friendly as possible. And, you know, first and foremost, is this for target? Are we just going to be plinking, or are you looking at hunting with it? And then we figure out what's going to be, you know, the best bow we can get them into, the best sight we can get them into, the best arrows and broadheads and inserts and all that stuff
Yep.
to
It's-
maximize their potential.
It's like the people that come in and they go, well, how much does it cost to start into it? And I'm like, I don't know, that's all going to depend on your budget.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, you can start off with a bare legit at, $500. and you get most everything. You just got to buy arrows and a release.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
That's a good setup, and it's gonna last you.
It's gonna last you. It's not gonna, it's not my favorite bow by means, but you know what? Just to get started and figure out what you're gonna do. I had a guy come in and he was like, I don't know if I want to, because he's left eye dominant, and he was like, I want to learn how to shoot with my dominant eye. And he's like, so I want to buy a Matthews left-handed bow. And I said, well, if you don't even know if you like shooting left-handed, why don't you start with a legit? Just find out if you like it. If you don't like it, then you're only out $500.
Yeah, instead of
And the
$1,200.
resell on a
$1,200.
legit is a lot easier than trying to resell a left-handed Matthews.
Yeah, you have an easier time recouping
Yeah.
$500 than you would $1,200. That's not
he
gonna
came
happen.
back and he's like, I love it. So he bought the Matthews from me because he was like, you know what? Nobody else would have done that. They would have just sold me the Matthews.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not
Yeah.
there for that. I want to make sure. And he goes, so I asked him, I said, do you want me to put your bow up for sale? And he goes, no, I'm going to have my little boy shoot it now.
There you go.
And, now he wants to get into archery after watching Daddy and everything else. And I'm like,
Yeah,
perfect.
that's how my kids are.
Yeah.
So, a little background how I got into archery real quick. I tried out for Top Shot Season 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you remember the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But they basically do everything.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I need to practice some archery before I go down to do this interview to potentially be on the show. So I busted out my dad's old bow. I'm throwing arrows, and I'm like, it was like somebody had lit the flames to an old smoldering fire, and it was just, oh man, I'm having a blast. Anyway, so I got back into archery when I turned 30. And my daughter was like right there behind me with the little Nerf bow, trying to shoot and everything. Now she does competitions and stuff with me. And
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
We, my boy, my youngest, he got into it because mom and dad were going to start shooting. So we bought him a Craze 2. Craze 2.
Yeah, it's when you gave to my oldest.
Yeah.
okay.
I bought him a Craze 2, and then when I opened up the shop, I realized that the Craze 2 only went in inch increments, and he was at a half.
Oh,
inch.
not half inches. Yeah.
So, and he was at a half inch, so it wasn't fitting him exactly right. So I was like, well, you know what? I own a shop. I might as well give you a nice bow, and that way, people, if people want to shoot it, it's already set up. All I got to do is bring it down. So I got him a Mission hammer, and he loved it. And he was working hard at trying to get up into the pounds, but the speed wasn't there for him. So me and another guy that works in the shop, Kevin, we were talking on Facebook on the Messenger, and he says, why don't you try putting him in the Prima, because he's got a short draw. And so I had him shoot my wife's Prima, which I had to crank the pounds up on my wife's Prima, and then she couldn't pull it back, which is a funny story.
Right.
Because
What'd you do to my bow?
Yeah, her 10-year-old could pull back more than she can.
11.
Well, he's 11 now, but he was 10 then. So I built him this complete bow setup for this Prima, and he's like, it's got a woman's name. I don't want that bow. So I took my label maker and I hit a whole bunch of O's and then cut them out, and I put the O over it because he started calling it it's not a Prima, it's a Primo. So I put the O over all the all the A's, so he has a Primo. So
That's funny.
he's shooting the only Matthews Primo
Yeah.
bow out there. So
And he's shooting the Black Eagle Rampages with the 50 grain insert and 100 grain head from Madman from Radical Archery Design.
Yep.
He has whitewater wraps with the same fletchings that I do, with the Q2I Fusion Xeons.
Yeah, I want to get with Whitewater and do some custom wraps.
You can do it.
Didn't
right through me.
David have, or not David, Nick had those custom
We
wraps
actually
made?
made
We
them
did
for
those
him.
for him.
Yeah.
Oh, you made those?
Yeah, I actually called Whitewater and had to make those.
That's cool.
I got a picture of Charlie
Yeah,
and sent it into them, and they actually sent it back in that green and everything.
that's cool.
And I wasn't even asking for the green. That was going to be the next question. and they sent it back in the green and everything, and I'm like, that's perfect.
Yeah.
I even got teary-eyed over
I
it.
want
I'm
to do
like,
something with the channel logo. 'Cause
Well,
I think-
Whitewater,
do it,
they'll do
yeah.
anything for you. They are an awesome family-owned business over in Oklahoma. I
So,
found them.
grab your stabilizer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
don't
'cause
have
I wanna
mine
do,
out, so
we want to do some like stab wraps and arrow wraps.
they
can do everything.
So if you look at that, they actually put that on all of ours for us. They put the Oconnell Archery on our.
That's a nice little
Wraps.
stab. I like that.
That's the Conquest
Control Freak.
Control Freak Hitman.
I like the low profile of it and everything. It balances really
It's
well.
getting really popular in the industry.
I don't
It
get
is.
any crosswind off of it.
Yeah.
And I'm not having to pay super big money for it.
Right.
It does everything it's supposed to. So
There
I
you
pay
go.
like 60, $70 for a stab.
Instead of 150.
Yeah.
I've shot,
They're
I've shot a lot
expensive.
of different.
Yeah.
I mean, I've shot titanium archery products and I shot a cutter. And I mean, they're both great, amazing products.
It's all so. Conquest is owned by Black Eagle, and then Darden's owned by Black Eagle now. So
Oh, really?
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep. So I actually, when I went down to ATA, sat down and talked with, God, I can't, the president of Darton when we were there, because I was trying to find a bow for my son. And I ordered the bow and got the bow here, and then realized that it wouldn't fit my son's draw length. He's still too short on
He's
the
an
draw.
inch and a half still short for his 40-pound Maverick.
Yeah. So
Dang it.
I was like, but he is going to go to a Darton bow as soon as he can. And then there is a Darton bow that would fit him, but he really wants that Maverick.
The
So
Cyclone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cyclone SD.
He really wants that Maverick, so it's sitting in the back waiting for him.
I got my daughter a Bowtech, the Infinite Edge.
Pro, yeah.
I don't know if it's a pro.
There's the Infinite Edge and the Infinite
Oh
Edge
yeah,
Pro.
okay.
Yeah.
The
But
diamond.
yes,
the
thank
diamond.
you. The Diamond Infinite Edge. Just because
It's
it's,
made by
so
Single or dual cam?
variable.
Yeah, is it the single or the dual cam one?
Single. I don't know. I'm not a
Yeah.
a bow tech. Okay. I'm like, it's got cams.
It's
I
it pull
have
back
no
and
idea.
go forward. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Is how it works.
That's what. So that's kind of like that's their mission line. You know, like Matthew's mission line. Bowtech has theirs. Darton doesn't have one. They don't have like a secondary, but they have the entry line. So does PSE. And then they have
Prime has-
then they have the mortgage bow.
Yeah.
So
You levitate.
that's what we call it. The mortgage.
The mortgage bow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, the Levitate, like, just the base setup. What's that run?
Just for the bow.
Yeah.
$18.99.
Well, I mean, that's not as bad as the RX-7.
No, it's not.
I mean,
But that full setup with arrows
Yeah.
is only 5.9 pounds.
you know what I like about this bow is the design of the riser.
It is the lines on that and the way
It's
that
so
they change in the
sleek.
sunlight.
You know, I mean, I held, you know who Pacific Northwest Huntress is?
Yeah, Sarah.
Sarah. When she got hers, she traded her OD green for a black one, and she let me hold it, and it didn't have everything on it. And I was like, oh my goodness, that thing
Nick's-
is light.
Nick's is in the back too.
That's so light. It's a nice bow. I can't say I haven't shot one, so, but you got the Epsilon rest on here.
Yep.
You got a 7-pin Trophy Ridge sight.
The React Pro.
Yeah, that's nice.
Tight
It's-
spot quiver.
It's a clean setup. I like it.
So that bow right there at 28.5 inch draw with my 509 grain arrows is 296 feet per second.
That's fast.
When I took that out at 70 pounds, that's at 68 pound, by the way.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
not
really?
7.
That's
This-
a
you only have
68.
this at 68?
That's a 68. So I was tinkering with it, and I was trying to shoot through paper, and I shot it through paper, and I turned the cams out, or the limb pockets out,
Yeah.
just a little bit, and then shot a bullseye, and I'm like, well, that's where it's telling me it wants to be.
Yeah, the bullet. Yeah.
So I was like, there we go. So, but at 70, when we first got into the shop, we set it up, and at 70 pounds with a 515 grain arrow at that time, I think. 530 grain arrow. It was 300 feet per second.
Wow.
It's 514.
514, okay. But with a whisker biscuit on it.
I have some test arrows up there.
Oh, with a whisker on it?
With a whisker on it.
So, I mean, shave
But
5
no.
off.
We thought the same thing. I put the epsilon on it. It was the same feet per second.
Really?
This bow's so fast it won't even slow down for a whisker biscuit.
That's crazy.
It was
insane.
unreal. I was thinking 5 pounds. I was thinking 5 feet.
Yeah.
Nope, still 300. I went in here and I go, dude. And he's like, right? That's unreal.
I like how you have your ham ski tied in down here. That's
Yeah.
kind of cool. That's different. I haven't seen anything like that before.
Well, that's
I
why
get
they
a little-
have that hole there.
Get a little
actually.
funky with it.
So,
And then I did a little security tie around there to make sure, because we were having issues with the
This right here?
yeah.
Yeah.
So you see how I have the serving tied around there.
Yeah.
We were having issues with the string.
wouldn't slack. It wouldn't go slack. It would just like bow out.
Yeah.
So we were
it was
afraid
doing
it was
some
going to
weird
catch into
stuff.
the cable or something.
So I did security knot on front and back. It's also alleviating some of the stress. points
actually,
for
as
it.
we would pull it, this would just come out this way.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
weird.
it wouldn't actually. So we were like, well, let's tie it
So
all
you
in.
anchored it to that to
Yeah.
make sure that the travel tracked properly.
Yeah, and the same every single time.
Yep.
Sure.
So
But
That's
that is probably one of the fastest bows. Well, the fastest bow I've ever shot in my life.
fastest one I think I've ever seen.
So
And that epsilon rest is really easy to tune out. I'm really enjoying how they did it. The only downside to it is you got this big shiny reflective circle right here.
it's
Yeah,
hidden
I
by
mean-
the quiver when the quiver's on, though. So
Yeah,
still,
you'd
it's-
think you could like paint it, make it muted.
well, you would think they would.
Well, sure.
You know, instead of putting a big silver one in there,
You know, it's one of those
make it an
things that
anodized
like
black one or
you
something.
make it and you go,
Hey, Hamsky,
awesome,
did you hear that?
and then afterwards, yeah, right. And then afterwards, you figure out what changes people
Yeah.
want and so on. I want to get one of these epsilons for my daughter's bow because
And then I
she's
did
a
the same
left-handed
thing for
shooter
the
and she's
bus cable
small.
on the Maverick here.
We did the same thing.
Oh yeah.
So I tied it through there and then did a nice little
And
daisy
then
chain.
even on Nick's the VX, the V3X that we sold him, we did the same thing. We tied it through there on the Matthews too.
Yep.
On his Trinity, I think that's what he.
He has the Holy Trinity.
What would be the difference between that and then doing what
You're not having to split the cable.
Okay.
Or tying it
or
around the
put it in
limb.
the limb.
You can also worry about shifting on the limb and things like that, or adding extra weight to the limbs, or. So
I've seen it just like down around the axle down here.
See, and then that worries me because that's a fail point. That's something like it can get caught in the cam. Something funky goes wrong.
I'll tell you.
I try to alleviate as much crap to go wrong in the field as possible because thanks to Murphy, what can go wrong will go wrong, and if we can try to alleviate that.
I've never shot a drop away. I refuse to. Last year, I refused to.
Why?
I shot the VMAX last year. The Trophy Ridge VMAX, the whisker biscuit that they have. It's micro adjustable. It does all the same things.
Sure.
The reason I did it is because that string. If you take QAD is a great rest. I'm not taking anything away from it. It's cable actuated. You know, it's great rest. But that string gets cut out in the open. What do? When you're out in the field, you're out elk hunting, and you cut that string, and then here comes that big bull. You can't shoot.
Sure.
That your drop way's done. So my point was, why do I want to put something on there that has a fail point?
Okay. So
So
why'd you
I
go
shot
to an
whisker
epsilon?
I went to the Epsilon because
You wanted to miss on your pig
no.
because your string broke.
One, it's not cable actuated. I could tie it through like you saw. I could tie it through there, and you don't have to tear apart the rest in order to put D-loop back on it.
Yeah, the QAD I have a
The D-loop
little-
material back on it. All you got to do is unscrew a little hole, run it through, and tighten it down.
Oh yeah. I know what you're
With the
saying.
QAD,
Yes.
you have to take that whole trigger off.
Yeah,
run
you gotta
the cord
like
back
feed it through. It's
Yeah.
kind of a pain.
Yeah.
I'll agree.
So I don't have to worry about that out in the field.
Yeah, it's
Unless
All
you
I
know how
gotta
to
do
have
is carry a
some-
little bit more.
Some
All I gotta do is carry a little
Binding
bit more
knots.
D-loop material, and I'm ready to go in the field.
yeah.
if you
I
look at the
think of
bottom-
it as a hunting standpoint of, like he said, what can go wrong will go wrong, and I still carry a VMAX in my backpack, just in case. It's all centered, ready to go.
Sure.
If something happens, I just slap that on, center it up. I'm done. I'm ready to go.
Mhm.
But
Hold on just a second.
yeah,
Hold that thought. It beeped, and I don't know why.
And I don't know why.
No way. I think it literally just turned off.
So you know what? I'm out. I'm done.
I'm pretty sure that's what it did. I mean, brand new batteries in it. So let's try that some more.
all right.
It's really weird. I hit record when we started, so
Yeah.
I haven't looked at it since we started.
We'll see what happens.
Well, at least
We'll
you
see
caught
what
the
happens,
beat.
man.
At least you caught the beat.
I caught the beep. I heard it go beep. Anyways, well, this has been a fun conversation
Yeah.
talking about bows and your shop, and I guess the question would be like, you're coming up on your year mark, like, and everything is going good.
Everything seems to
You
be
got
going
you
great.
got customers coming in.
Yeah, we have
I
a lot of
noticed on the
repeat
IG
customers.
page you guys like post a photo every time, but somebody buys a bow.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. What do you like? Where do you see you guys in 5 years? And what do you got coming in like the near future, like hunts?
Within the near future, we will have a bigger facility, maybe here on my property, or somewhere else. I plan on moving more towards the coast and up north. Up north will be more on this side of the water.
Okay.
When that happens, I'm hoping David will run that one, and then I'll have what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to build a nice little nest egg for my youngest to take over.
Sure.
He wants to be very, and has the ability, because that kid can shoot. He has the ability to be very pronounced in this archery industry. As far as shooting and far as anything else, if when David builds arrows for him, he's right there with him, wanting to build the arrows, wanting to learn how to glue. I set up
continuously seeking knowledge.
Cool.
I set up his Prima for him. He was right there helping me. It's nothing that he doesn't want to learn, and he wants to take over. But there is a stipulation: he has to go to college and get a business degree in order for him to take over on this company that his mom and I are building together.
Cool.
5 years from now is what I'm hoping to do is to have another shop open, have another location here, with an indoor range and stuff like that. We will, as other archery shops that I know, we will close like 1 week during deer season, 1 week during elk season.
We actually have a
If we don't
countdown.
get the elk, during early season, we will be closed another week during late season.
Sure.
Because just like everybody else, we are hunters just as much.
Mm-hmm.
So this is our passion, but our other passion is to be out in the woods doing the same thing everybody else is doing.
Sure.
But we want to grow. I went to ATA this year. I want to go back to ATA next year. Continue to grow my business and become bigger and more successful, and
Mm-hmm.
just live life. When our year anniversary comes up, we are actually we're going to smoke some of the hog that we got on our hunts
Mm-hmm.
with some of the spices that we're actually have coming into the shop. We're going to
Yeah.
smoke it up with that. We're going to make little dollar sliders
Mm-hmm.
out of it, so they can try the different spices and that kind of stuff.
Cool.
And you know, we'll probably raffle off a really nice bow, so keep that in mind for our
Yeah, let us know when you do that.
Yeah.
It'll probably be on your IG.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing I forgot to mention is
we are doing YouTube now.
Yep, we got our YouTube channel.
Yep, we're gonna start posting YouTube videos. Our hunt actually will be coming on there. Our hunt and the bows that we use and the setups that we have will all be out there.
Cool.
And then once a week we plan on doing bow reviews and post them on our YouTube channel so people can watch the short little clips of what we do and how the bow reacts, so they can figure out what they want to do.
Yeah.
And then once again, you know, if you don't know what you want to shoot, don't let that worry you. I mean, that's what we're here for. Just come in and tell us a couple bows that you want to shoot, and we'll set them all up, and you can shoot them and find out which one you like better. Because just because everybody shoots Matthews doesn't mean Matthews is going to be the right bow for you.
Right.
So
I started out with a bear.
Yeah.
And I went to a shop it was in Puyallup, and it wasn't Sportco, because that's in Fife. But anyway, so I went to a shop, and I was looking at the Hoyt Charger had come out, and I was like, oh, that's a cool looking bow.
I already
man.
know where you went.
I already know where
yeah.
you're at.
I know
So I
too.
was like, oh man. But the guy that was running the counter was not very personable.
No, I can't stand
And so it kind of really put a bad taste in my mouth. I went there with my dad's old Jennings Gale Force.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, which I still I brought with me the riser because I'm going to turn it into a Frankenbow.
Nice.
You ever heard of that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, we have a couple of Jennings we're working on.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll bring it in a minute, and you guys can look at it. I don't know. I'm on the fence. I've posted it for sale on Marketplace, and I'm like, because do I want to build it? Do I not? Anyway, so I took it in there, and the guy was like, "Look, I don't have any parts for this.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna find any." He's like, "So I can't work on it for you." Because yeah. So we can do an intermission, and then I'll just okay. Anyways, well, this has been a fun conversation.
Yeah.
Talking about bows and your shop, and I guess the question would be like, coming up on your year mark, like, and everything is going good.
Everything seems to
We
be going
got
great.
customers coming in.
Yeah, we got a
I
lot of
noticed on the
repeat
IG
customers.
page, you guys like post a photo every time, but somebody buys a bow.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. What do you like? Where do you see you guys in 5 years? And what do you got coming in like the near future, like hunts?
Within the near future, we will have a bigger facility, maybe here on my property, or somewhere else. I plan on moving more towards the coast and up north. Up north will be more on this side of the water.
Okay.
When that happens, I'm hoping David will run that one, and then I'll have what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to build a nice little nest egg for my youngest to take over.
Sure.
He wants to be very, and has the ability, because that kid can shoot. He has the ability to be very pronounced in this archery industry. As far as shooting and far as anything else, when David builds arrows for him, he's right there with him, wanting to build the arrows, wanting to learn how to glue. I set up
continuously seeking knowledge.
I set up his Prima for him. He was right there helping me. It's nothing that he doesn't want to learn, and he wants to take over. But there is a stipulation: he has to go to college and get a business degree in order for him to take over on this company that his mom and I are building together.
Cool.
5 years from now is what I'm hoping to do, is to have another shop open, have another location here with an indoor range and stuff like that. as other archery shops that I know, we will close like 1 week during deer season, 1 week during elk season. If we don't get the elk during early season, we will be closed another week during late season.
Sure.
Because just like everybody else, we are hunters just as much. So we don't, this is our passion, but our other passion is to be out in the woods doing the same thing everybody else is doing.
Sure.
But we want to grow. I went to ATA this year. I want to go back to ATA next year. Continue to grow my business and become bigger and more successful, and just live life. When our year anniversary comes up, we are actually we're going to smoke some of the hog that we got on our hunts with some of the spices that we're actually having coming into the shop. We're going to smoke it up with that. We're going to make little dollar sliders out of it, so they can try the different spices and that kind of stuff.
Cool.
And you know, we'll probably raffle off a really nice bow, so keep that in mind for our
Let us know when you do that.
Yeah.
It'll probably be on your IG.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing I forgot to mention is
We are doing YouTube now.
Yeah,
we
got our YouTube channel.
Yep, we're gonna start posting YouTube videos. Our hunt actually will be coming on there. Our hunt and the bows that we use and the setups that we have will all be out there.
Cool.
And then once a week we plan on doing bow reviews and post them on our YouTube channel, so people can watch the short little clips of what we do and and how the bow reacts, so they can figure out what they want to do.
Yeah.
And then once again, you know, if you don't know what you want to shoot, don't let that worry you. I mean, that's what we're here for. Just come in and tell us a couple bows that you want to shoot, and we'll set them all up, and you can shoot them and find out which one you like better. Because just because everybody shoots Matthews doesn't mean Matthews is going to be the right bow for you.
Right.
So
I started out with a bear,
yeah,
and I went to a shop it was in Puyallup, and it wasn't Sportco, because that's in 5. But anyway, so I went to a shop, and I was looking at the Hoyt Charger come out. I was like, oh, that's a cool looking bow.
I already know where you went.
I already know where shop you're at.
I know
So I was
too.
like, oh man. But the guy that was running the counter was not very personable.
No, I can't stand that.
And so it kind of really put a bad taste in my mouth. I went there with my dad's old Jennings Gale Force.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, which I still have. I brought with me the riser because I'm going to turn it into a Frankenbow.
Nice.
You ever heard of that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, we have a couple of Jennings we're working on that.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll bring it in a minute and you guys can look at it. I don't know. I'm on the fence. I've posted it for sale on Marketplace and I'm like, because do I want to build it? Do I not? Anyway. So I took it in there and the guy was like, look, I don't have any parts for this. You're not going to find them. He's like, so I can't work on it for you. Yeah. So, we can do an intermission and then I'll just. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, another thing that we do is for veterans. When we're building arrows, we also do price points for them as well.
Oh, okay. You mentioned that when I paused it, I stopped it or whatever.
You know, actually the Sun Assassin guys are looking for more folks on their hunt staff.
Oh yeah. Cool.
I know Jason and Justin very, very well.
Are you like trying to drop a hint here or?
All right, guys.
Opportunities.
Yeah. Local yokels?
My next door neighbors are doing a bunch of work in their house, so okay, I'm ready.
Okay, so you
Frankenbow.
Frankenbow, and how did I get there? I was talking about how, my bear. Okay,
Okay.
Okay, so now we're back. We'll try and pick up where we left off. Anyways, long story short, I went online and bought a Bear Authority and built it. I spent like $200 for a bear bow, and then put everything on it. Found a Trigicon AccuPin.
Oh, nice.
Dude, for $200.
What?
Online.
How'd you find that too?
You search long enough and you can find anything.
That's true. That's true.
I bought it for $200. I think I sold it for $220. Because I knew what I had.
Yeah. I know what I got.
But
I know what I got.
I wouldn't mind putting one on my hunting bow. Because I like how it comes to a point, and then I can dial in for the tip of that point.
Mhm.
You know, whereas dots, you can't really do that. I mean, you could, but really the idea is different with a dot. But anyways, and I like the mover. But at the time, I didn't shoot the pound.
Oh, you got him talking now. He's gonna.
I don't know how I got started on that whole thing there, but it's pretty cool. And then this is the
Easy V bow sight.
the Easy V bow sight, and I've
Used
seen
that
these.
solidly for 5 years.
And they're
Steadiometric ranging. It's been in use in the militaries worldwide for over 150 years.
they're simple.
Yeah.
They're simplistic. I'll give
That
them
thing's
that.
a
And it's a
tank.
very minimalist design.
Mhm.
It's
Aaron Lasco, they're 100% U.S. made over in Bozeman, Montana.
oh yeah,
Yep.
that's pretty cool. I noticed did you paint yours?
No, that's the camo version.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know I have had custom ones Cerakoted throughout the years,
Mm-hmm.
and I've sold them.
One of our customers actually has one.
Yep, because he got an all OD green and everything. He was really wanting to get the Easy V sight. He was like, I don't know if I want to do the black or the camo because it doesn't really match. I was like, well, funny you should say that. Because I have an OD green one that I customized with orange writing. I highlighted all the writing and everything with a blaze orange acrylic pen, and it's really nice looking. And
So you sold it to him.
Yep.
So
Sweet.
Yeah.
we try to do everything we can with our customers. I mean, we're not. I don't even care if you come in and spend money with me. You can just come in here and bullshit with us, or
Talk shop and hang out.
drink coffee, and
Yeah.
I think I had every bench in here, every seat in here full on Black Friday,
Mm-hmm.
and I think we sat around and drank coffee all day. And when customers came in, we would get up and help them, and
Nice.
then they would leave, and we would go back to shop talk.
Right.
It was a lot of fun.
So in the future, like moving on to where you see you guys selves and
Oconnell Archery worldwide.
Oconnell Archery worldwide.
There
You
we
should
go.
just say coastal.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, because the East Coast doesn't need this.
Well, see, and it's hard because you got to start a business, right? So you go and you try to apply for business loan, but they won't give you a business loan until you're open for 2 years. So how do you start a business if you haven't had a business?
That's a good question.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So people in the banking industry should really figure that out, because here I had to use my dad's inheritance, the money we had saved up, everything went into this to
Yeah,
start
but hey,
this.
in another like 12 months, you can get a loan.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing is right now I could do that. I could put everything on my home, on my home loan and everything, and I'm like, but this fails, then I got to make that payment. How do I do that if I don't have this income?
Right.
So there's that stipulation. I don't want to lose everything I have.
Right.
I want to be able to know that I have my nest egg. If I lose a business, that's fine. But if I lose my house on top of it,
Yeah, that would suck.
yeah, I can't go that route. So
Yeah, they've got some great like highway, roadside, like domiciles nowadays. Though they're usually like wrapped in blue.
yeah, but I'm not one of them that would like to do that. So
Yeah.
I like to be able to walk in and go, hey, there's my dogs, there's my kid. Hey, I got a stove, I got a refrigerator. I don't have to worry
Warm
about
shower.
food.
Right. Yeah.
That's kind of. I don't want to have to go out there and go, hey, I got a family. Can you help me feed myself? I don't need that. I'm a fat guy for a reason. I like food. If I can't eat, I'm gonna get hangry. So
Right. I'm a skinny guy. I get hangry.
yeah,
Yeah.
I got
but
my
Snickers
crayons.
will make you guys
Crayons.
happy.
There you go, crayons.
A
No,
king
actually,
size
I
won't
really
even-
do have one.
King size won't even help me.
What do you got planned for hunts?
Next year we're planning on probably maybe going to Texas
There you go.
for some more hunts. I know me and Nick talked about going back to JP and doing the big area with the wives.
Mm-hmm.
So staying in the nice mansion where they feed you and do all that.
Oh,
You
dude,
know,
that estate is
do
so
do
cool.
the bougie thing for the wives, and that way we have everything. But I think Texas is gonna be up there.
Have you heard of, speaking of Texas, have you heard of Hog Snort Resort? They're on Instagram and they do like the nighttime silence AR.
Oh, see, I don't get me wrong, I'm a gun fanatic too. I am. I love my guns too. But as an like, I had a guy on the way down. I had a guy on the way down to the hunt. He goes, where are you guys headed? And I said, we're gonna go down to Northern California for a hog hunt. And he goes, you guys using bows? It says archery shop right on the side of the truck. What do you think?
You going skiing?
Yeah,
The yours? Yeah.
Yeah, I took it with my 350, you know, I took it with my 9mm or whatever, you know, and I'm just sitting there going, yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense that I'm gonna go down there and go, yeah, look at this bullet hole, but I'm gonna sell you a broadhead. You know, it doesn't make any sense.
Sure.
I'm gonna use what I sell, that way I can show people that, hey, this works.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
You know, with especially how expensive guns and ammo is right now, it's ridiculous.
Well, and then in California, you have to have specialized lead-free ammunition
We had to buy copper rounds when we went down there. You
for
want to talk about
our self-protection sidearms.
yeah?
Crazy.
You want
You
to talk
couldn't even
about
take
even
it.
finding that was
Yeah.
hard.
That's nuts.
And then it was like $60 for what 24 rounds for you and 24
Mhm.
rounds for me. It was $60.
20 rounds.
Oh yeah, 20 rounds.
No.
And I'm like, it was $60. I'm like, dude, you know, you can go out all day and shoot a bow with 6 arrows.
You can, as long as you don't lose them or break them.
Don't shoot spot. Oh, that's one of my biggest pet peeves when people come. Oh, Dave, I shot the fletchings off, man. I need you to refletch. Need you to do this. Need you to that. Are you
Stop
shooting groups? Well, yeah. Stop shooting groups.
The
Yeah,
funny
you
thing is
shoot
I
spots.
was sighting in my PSE for the hunt, and I sent him a picture. And I shot right through my fletching with my thing. And I sent him a picture, and I said, "Stop grouping."
Yeah, I learned that early on.
Like it's job
Shooting
security,
archery.
but I would much rather you save your money and then keep shooting for as long as you can. And when it comes time to get some more arrows or new arrows, you take that money that you're paying to refletch and do all that stuff and put them into a better arrow for yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can understand why people shoot, why they group though. Think of it like a trophy. It's that instant gratification of, I'm consistently doing the same thing. If I shoot spots, I can say, yeah, I'm hitting the middle every time, but it doesn't look as cool.
Yeah, it doesn't feel
as
I
cool.
think it looks
when you
take
walk
my-
up there.
When I can take my hinge, my
Yeah.
little knock on or whatever,
Yeah.
put it right over the arrow.
Yeah. No, I agree. You know, but as an archery shop owner, yeah, please shoot groups all you want, please. But
As a guy who has to refletch them all the time.
yeah, but as you know, as
My arrow's gonna hit? No, there's a big line in front
yeah, it's just it takes time. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. When you first get a bow, you want a group, and that's why we always preach buy inexpensive. Then
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, that's what
don't buy expensive.
I did Archer's Edge, I think it was the arrows I bought in the beginning.
Oh, the fiberglass ones?
I can't remember what they're made out of, but they're very durable. It was like $60 for a 12 pack. That's super affordable. And I was like, sweet, Archer's Edge. Yeah, I think I got them at Sportco back when Ryan was there. But anyway, and now I build arrows for target and to be more consistent.
Well, and target arrows are totally different because you got the back ends that you put in where when you do group, they do slide off. You know, the only thing you're really possibly going to break is your knocks.
Yeah, are those 26s? No, those are 23s.
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 Yeah,
Those are mine.
yeah. I want to get some 23s.
What's fun?
Well, my Matthews, I shoot like 48, 49 pounds.
You do a 400.
So, yeah, it would be something like that. It'd be
You
bigger.
do a 400 with a
But-
100 grain tip.
I tell you, I think I run. I have my arrows in the car. But anyways, I don't have it memorized. That's a nice arrow.
Yeah, he
I like
builds
the
really good
veins
ones.
that you have.
Yeah, those are actually, these are the brand new Q2i Fusion 2.5s. There's a lot of places that don't even have those.
Yeah, that's pretty
We,
nice.
we do Q2Is here
I
just because
love
they have
Q2I
the
veins.
dual polymer construction. It makes them adhere better.
Now here's a like arrow nerd question.
Mm-hmm.
So you do the wrap, right?
Mhm.
Does the overlay, even though it's very minimal,
I've never had an issue
cause
with
a weight difference
No.
and
No.
pose any sort of
it. It is such a minuscule aspect. Like,
so fine. Like
Yeah,
if there
But
is
here's,
a difference,
but here's
it's
the
barely
bonus.
measurable.
Yeah.
Here's the bonus of a wrap. One of your fletchings fall off.
Oh yeah, like I get that.
So you
That's
have
why
to
I wanna
scrape
go
the
to
carbon.
wraps.
Yeah, so you have to scrape that carbon. So you're
Because
making
I've
that
been there,
arrow
like-
weaker.
but, so say you cut too deep in that carbon,
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
you
sure.
now you cause a micro fracture,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and you go to shoot that arrow. Now your hand becomes a porcupine, and so is your face with that carbon.
Yeah.
So it's an integral issue for me to use a wrap. Also, I can identify the arrow easier. I can see the blood better. And if you do, you can also have it act as a turbulator if you want as well.
That's also
Used to disrupt the airflow
Yeah.
before it hits the fletching.
Yeah,
that's
what
also
you
a
mean.
custom
Yeah.
wrap from
whitewater archery.
Whitewater.
Oh,
Because normally that snake
yeah,
is black,
the marine snake.
but I made him
The
go to white so it would stand out a little bit more.
Yeah.
So
Don't tread on
yep.
it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but no, I really enjoy the Q2i veins. They're great memory. They have great steering. They're stiff but not over stiff. They're very quiet in flight. Actually, the quietest fletching I've ever used is from Q2i. It's the Griff X Ving. It's a low profile parabolic. It's the ones that I showed you with the orange wrap there.
Oh yeah.
Those are literally whisper quiet in flight.
Cool.
With the shield cuts, you get a little bit of noise because the air is rushing over that point and everything else. But
And we do things that
Yeah, but this you're not hunting.
No,
with
exactly.
This to try and be stealthy
Yeah,
before
no.
impact.
no.
They're just phenomenal. And like I said, and then for veterans, if they come in and they build arrows, they get free. They get 6 free field point tunes with the inserts, and 6 broadhead tunes with the insert tunes for free.
We take care of veterans because my dad was a veteran.
I'm a
That's
vet.
cool, man.
So, and David's a veteran. So
Well, veterans like me appreciate it.
You know, well, I mean, if we don't take care of each other, who else will, right?
Well, for sure.
And I also sit on the board for a veteran nonprofit too.
Oh, okay.
so we give back. I'm very patriotic. So I just
What's the
To
one that
me-
Todd's part of? That we
Huh?
donate the bows to? Todd's.
I don't remember. Maybe Todd can, if he sees this, can post a little something on there of what organization we donated to. I can't remember though.
Back.
But yeah, we try to do as much as we can. I mean, we had a lady or a kid in town that was going through another heart transplant, and they were trying to raise money, so we donated a bow to help raise money for her.
That's cool.
We're, as a community and as a nation, we have to look out for each other, and that's kind of what we have to do, and especially at this day of age.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially when you go down to California on your hog trip and you're paying $7 a gallon for fuel.
Right.
It's like
it's
$6.25.
ridiculous.
It was insane.
So, but we just want to do our part, and we want to have fun and enjoy life. So,
As a reminder, there's only 172 days, 11 hours, and 47 minutes until hunting season.
Bam! There you have it.
that's opening day for deer, fellas. So get in and get your equipment figured out.
Let's do it now and
Yeah.
then spend the rest of the time practicing.
Exactly.
Well, another thing that we do that a lot of shops don't is we have recipe cards for everybody's arrow that comes in here.
recipe card?
I write down a recipe card for every single
Right, so what their life is.
everything that I need to know to rebuild that arrow for them.
So all I have to do is call in. They can call in and say, hey, this and this. We have a couple other things that we will explain to the customers when they come in that we do for other people that we don't want to tell everybody because we don't want other companies to follow suit and do things the same way.
Sure.
So, but we do a couple of things differently than other people do.
Yep.
So, but in 5 years, that's where we hope to see ourselves, man, is out there and,
Yeah.
you know.
I will say, this was super easy to find with the GPS. I don't know why, but in my mind, I had you pictured in like downtown. And then I'm like, oh no, it's up here. And then I was like, this place is gonna be hard to find. It's like right off the
Yeah.
East Pickering Road.
Yeah.
And then
Right after
I
3.
saw the little sign to turn left.
Yep.
Like, okay, here we
Well,
go.
then usually we have the open sign on, and that's green.
Yeah, well, I mean,
And then we're gonna
you're gonna see the moose
Yeah.
out front.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, the moose is because of my dad. That was my dad's favorite. What he wanted to hunt before he died was a moose.
Yeah.
And he never got the chance to. So.
So I'm going to tell you something cool about my dad, who's still alive. He has all my nephews, or not nephews, all my cousins call my dad Uncle Moose.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and so his thing is the moose as well. And I don't know, it's just kind of
Well, my
interesting connection, side connection there.
Serendipitous.
so I drive
Serendipitous.
I drive the Dodge Cummins.
That's not moose.
But they have the antlers, you know, the things stuck off the mirrors.
Oh,
So many
yeah,
times.
the mirror,
And
yeah.
they always call them the moose antlers.
Oh.
And I told my wife, I said, well, then call my truck Bullwinkle, I don't care. I said I tow way too much to drop them things down.
Yeah.
So, but it's an easy place to find. We hope that everybody enjoys coming here and, you know,
Yeah.
our customers are number one, so. that's-
Well, I hope you guys grow. I mean, you
Find
got
a
the,
bow
you
and
got
arrow
the
for almost
right
any budget.
space for it. So, you know.
Well, like I
go
said,
up, right?
yeah, I mean, if anything, I'm happy with the way it is right now, but, I mean, I would love to get it bigger. But,
Sure.
you know, I mean, I would like to be as big as some of the other companies out there. Unfortunately, right now, you know, I'm building where other people have already done that.
Right.
So,
Yeah, you're at the building the foundation. That's where you're at.
yep. And then, you know, a lot of the other people, they either, you know, they can either buy the shops that are already done and already got the customer clientele and already making money, and I just couldn't afford to do that. So
Right.
I just dumped my money into this and said, hopefully it works.
Yeah.
So-
When I was at Lucky Shot, and Ted was like, "It could be yours for $2 million." And
Yeah.
I was like, "Nah, I wish I had $2 million."
Yeah.
This place.
Well, and I was talking to Isaac when I was there. I was talking to Isaac. I was like, Isaac,
That's
why
the
don't you
new
buy-
one, right?
No, Isaac's the Bowtech.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
I
think I met him
He's
once.
the firefighter guy.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah, he's a really good guy. I
Well
was talking to
balanced.
Isaac. I was like, man, why don't you buy this? And he's like, I'm not retired yet. He says, if I was retired, I would be more than happy to try to buy it. But, you know, I'm not retired. I still enjoy what I do, and, you know. And then, like he said, you know, if he bought that, it takes more time to run a business than he might want to put into it.
Yeah, I mean that is.
You know,
it's
like
not
David,
just shooting your bow
David
every
takes
day.
David takes me off because he gets to come in and go, hey, I'm taking this week off. I'm going to go hunting, and I'm like, yeah, okay, thanks. Where do I get to go? You know, I can't afford to do that luxury. I can't say, well, I'm going to close for a week and go do that all the time. You know,
Right. Not there yet.
I don't want to be there. I mean, until I get somebody in here, I don't want to be there, and I don't know if I could, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Me and my wife we're very hands-on owners. We like to be in the mix. My wife, when she's not working or with her dad, she's in here with us.
Cool.
You know, she likes to work and have fun in here just as much as everybody else.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, and we got the new colors from Key-to-Y on her arrows.
Yep. So, but she, it's just a family-run business, and that's how we treat everybody that comes in. Just like Nick says, you know, they treat you like family, and that's how we want you guys to feel.
Yeah,
when you
that's
come
how
in.
you described it.
Yeah. Which Nick is family though, so he is 100% family here. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Bearded Dragon.
Yep.
Bearded Dragon.
So those are all his awards right there.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I
You
built
raise
him
them
a
here.
Yep. I built
Okay.
a little plaque up for him, so that way him and Brett have their trophies area for when they come in. They just hand off the trophies. We put them up.
Actually, just
Throw
built
them in
a
the section.
Britt dozen target shafts for her.
Yep. She actually has a target bow coming in, hopefully Monday or
I
Tuesday.
should have kept one of her arrows
Cool.
so we could have everything set.
I already know. So, and then, yeah, we're just plugging along, man.
That's
Enjoying the minutes and the days and loving it so far. So,
That's what you gotta do.
yeah.
Yeah, we build, and then the arrows, we build everything for compound and trad arrows.
Yep.
We do feather fletchings or polymer veins.
I see some stuff over there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually,
Yeah.
this is
Who's running the primitive bow there?
the one up top here.
Yeah.
That was a gift from
Yeah.
a friend of mine from Panama. But here's one of the ones that I've done up. That's actually one of my personal ones. Whitewater Archery, so that's a clear crusted wrap. So you can actually see the wood grains and everything else through it. It's pretty nifty. They have full clear ones as well if you want to run like a really clean look on your shaft.
Yeah, that's cool.
Spinal line and everything with those, and so.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of, I met a guy named Bob from up north who had like a bunch of archery equipment that I've sold most of now, and regrettably so. Some of the stuff, like I had one of those third axis.
Oh, adjustment tools?
That
adjustment.
thing right there.
Yes, yes, yep. I had
Actually, we
one of
can do
those.
that with the bow press.
And
We
I
can actually
had
get the full draw and angle it.
a spine tester like that one right over there. I had one of those. Didn't know what I had, so sold it.
Well, if you ever need your arrow spinal line, bring them on down.
I will. This is really cool.
Like I said, it's a passion of mine. It helps to, after 12 years in the infantry, you get some of those dark days, and I
You
get
know,
build my arrows.
it's not like the old days where you just cut an arrow and
Hope for the best.
and it's done.
Yeah.
The way you can build an arrow nowadays and make sure, I mean, you can make sure it flies perfectly every time.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
there's so many aspects to it. It's,
And then here's a standard vintage arrow. That's a hunting
that's
weight
nice.
one I made for my buddy, actually, Samuel Strong from Bushcraft Bodybuilder on Instagram. He's hoping to get onto the Alone Show and take a bow with him, so I built those for hunting for him.
yeah, that's pretty cool, man. It's nice. That's a really long arrow.
It's actually almost too short for him.
That's a really big
He's a gorilla.
He's a gorilla.
Yeah, I'm a T-Rex. Don't get the shorter arms.
Right. No, I hear you. I hear you. Yep. I cut my arrows down so short that like Ryan gives me a hard time about it. He's funny. We go way back. He's like, why don't you just buy crossbow bolts? It'd be way easier.
The only downside of crossbow bolt is their spine is like 3. So,
Yeah.
so you're deadly way over spined all the time.
Way over spine. Well, you know what? I would like to say thank you for your time. Thank you for allowing me to come here and do this with you guys. It's
We appreciate you coming out, man. We
It's
really
fine.
do.
Yeah, bud.
Yeah.
yeah. We'll have to do some more stuff. I'm gonna go get that Jenny's and.
Hell yeah.
But for now, for everyone listening, that's a wrap. We're gonna kill it. And remember.
Thanks for listening, guys, and watching on YouTube. I appreciate it, man. You guys come out and see us, man. We'd love to see you.
Yeah.
Stay safe and shoot straight, folks.
Yeah. Remember to come down here and check them out. They're trying to grow and they need people to do that. So.
Oh, can you do a selfless plug real quick?
Selfless.
For my Instagram.
Shameless, you mean?
Shameless.
Shameless.
So-
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
they need the contact info.
Yeah, Hiking with a Viking is me on Instagram, and then Oconnell Archery for the shop Instagram.
Yep.
Yeah.
Follow us on YouTube and Instagram. We post pictures.
And it's the same on YouTube, right?
Yep, Oconnell Archery.
Everything's Oconnell Archery, man.
All right.
It's funny that, one last thing, it's funny how we came about Oconnell Archery because we had a whole bunch of different names out there. And my mom, of all people, goes, well, why don't we just do Oconnell Archery? And then all of a sudden it popped in my head that our coat of arms has a deer on it.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I'm like, so our coat of arms
Oh, okay.
is that, and it has a deer on it, and I'm like, Oconnell Archery it is. So
Perfect.
that's how we picked Oconnell Archery. It wasn't just because it was my last name. It was because it had a deer on it on our coat of arms.
That's cool.
Yeah. So just one last little thing.
Little interesting facts.
Yep.
Little known facts about Neil and the shop here
Yep.
in Shelton. All right. Well, remember, hunt hard, hunt smart, and be safe.